going live to do follow-up from this weekend, something like
Oh,
that.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, draw them in. It's a lure. It's a lure. I call it
I
a
have
lure.
Darn. Oh, my phone's about dead.
Oh, I had to plug mine in too. I had to plug that in, and whew. And then in order to sit in the lobby, I have to have a drink.
That sounds good.
Right, Salu? That's not the worst thing that happened to me today. I was like, can I podcast in the lobby? They said with a drink. I said, well, okay. That works. So let's see. Is it working, Eddie? How's it going? You're sending it in Instagram?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Just like when we were talking.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's still up. Oh, we're in here forever now. No, let's see. Yeah. Testing. So you can see this group run?
I see testing.
Sweet. Okay. To where?
Oh, in Zoom. I need it on Instagram so I can, because I don't have Zoom here. Well, I might have it, but I don't know how to use it. To where the Terminator is?
Yeah.
You need to delete it. I will remember it forever. You need to delete it from our minds.
Okay, I will. I will.
Sorry.
It's okay. You're making me laugh.
Do you see how uncontrolled I am? I'm just like, he just told that I was out, like we were live. And I'm like,
it's
blah,
okay.
blah, blah.
It's fine. I'm gonna actually do images, downloads. Of course, I didn't do that one.
I have a cool photo with me with the models. I always try to promote the models.
Oh, I think that's awesome. You and Christian, man, you guys are, I've just got lucky. I've met some really, really cool people in this exchange.
It is really great environment.
It's a great environment. It's a great environment. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm on my Facebook page, and Lucia, it's okay. I'm gonna use the picture of you and let's see. Are you
whichever one you like?
Thank you. Are you what's your Facebook name?
Nataliya, Nataliya.
Oh, found you.
Yeah, I have a white outfit and blonde hair at the time. Now I'm nothing but COVID hair. Hey, I did take a shower.
Oh, I like showers. Okay. Paste. So Eddie, I am pasting that link. Post. Okay. We're not live, are we? Okay. Well, so can we just like conduct ourselves in the Zoom part? On YouTube right now?
Woohoo! Hello, YouTube.
And let me hit record on the Zoom. Remember? Ooh,
I think we're just to say this is us.
And let me hit
on
record on the Zoom. Remember?
On the YouTube.
Ooh,
I think
we're
right now.
This is awesome. Well, I will get started. Well, check. It's okay. I'm just pumped. I'm excited. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Getting to Know You, the podcast. I'm your host, Giovanna Schlossenberg. I am doing a follow-up from the Runway Review KC event. Today, I have joining with me my producer, Eddie. Eddie Bow comes to us. He's been working with me for past, 6 to 9 months now. We get along great. I love Eddie. He's great. We get along so well. So I'm thankful he's able to join me. And then we have a special, you're welcome. And then we have a special guest, Nataliya Lucia Meyer. Did I say that correctly?
That sounds just right.
Thank you. Nataliya joins us. And if you will appropriately pronounce the name of your fashion company, because it's so pretty, I don't want to mess it up.
So the name of the store is Lucia Sarto Customs. Sorry, I have a thread hanging there. Thread, okay. I feel like it's touching my head and I can see
it's okay.
I can see it in the video. So it's called Lucia's Sarto Custom Sewing. And Lucy's my middle name, so it's like kind of trying to have it a little bit more fancy and a little more removed from just Natalia, which is my first name. And Sarto is Taylor in Italian, and my husband's Italian by heritage. So I was trying to just kind of bring it. It's kind of like Lucy's tailor shop, but in a fancy way.
No, I think it's very creative. I really like it. One of the things I'm starting to really like about the background of the fashion designers I'm speaking with is your background with the spools. It looks amazing. Like I've never been able to see backgrounds like that, and it never occurred to me kind of just how much intimacy really truly goes into a garment. I think as a creator, I use colored pencils and markers, so I have a choice of like 18 to 16 options. But if I don't get that one color in my head, then it doesn't translate. So it makes a lot of sense that I can see your background with that. So thank you. Thank you for joining me. What I wanted to kind of talk to you today is about your background. We're really fortunate to have you here in Kansas City, but you are definitely nationally known for sure. You've been featured in The Knot, which is amazing. I've been reading that magazine for 20, 25 years. It's like a pinnacle of, I think, to be in the magazine, whether you're holding a dress, writing an article, having a picture featured, it doesn't matter. To be in something of that publication is really a pinnacle in your career. So I wanted to talk to you about how that came about.
So we created a profile on The Knot when I started intaking clients at the store for different variety, and most likely it's the bridal stuff. So sometimes we have an evening gown and stuff, but most of the time it's bridal. And that magazine is mostly bridal. And just people started writing recommendations, and so we created a little profile just because, like, sometimes how like on Google Maps or Google or anywhere, people just somehow start rating you without you even existing. I don't know if that's a thing or I'm making this up, but I feel like
you're correct.
Because we had a Google profile and I never conducted it, and it just was created because people created a need for it. And so we had recommendations before we created a profile, which was really cool. And it's the people who did it. It's not just us. It's our clients, and it's really cool. I've been in this store, so I've had sewn forever, as long as I remember myself, but the store officially existed for about 7 years, and people have done this work for me. It's just, we have an amazing clientele. Today I'm sitting here alone, but I actually have a total of 8 people working with me, and it is a lot of work, and I have a fabulous team of people, so I can't do this alone.
Well, I agree. It does take a village. We were able to attend, both Eddie and I, the event this past weekend at Sporting KC. Eddie, can you pull up some of Nataliya's fashions? What's so really cool is accidentally I got this really cool front row seat because I was hanging out over by the outside terrace, and when some people got up, I snagged their chairs, and we kind of created a little runway of our own over there. So as we were viewing everything, I saw, which I now know are your designs coming out with the wings and
Yeah.
So you have to know
And it
this.
actually didn't let me download the pictures from Instagram, but
it's okay. I
randomly
can share them.
some of the only
go ahead.
pictures I got were of that. So I'm about to pull them up.
Well, that's
So
cool.
actually,
Oh,
I've made the gowns, and the wings were actually a guest designer. And so her
it's a
name is
collab.
Kendra Jade, and she is brilliant. And it was so I wanted to work with her for a very long time. And this was the show that was rescheduled from the last year, from all the COVID mess that we were in. And it was kind of like we were trying to make quick choices and decisions, and I just reached out to this girl going, hey, do you want to accessorize my outfits? I would love to have your wings. I have this idea. We had a photo shoot recently, but now in Kansas City we have this huge amount of people. It's just kind of a web of people that are connected, and a photographer will reach out to me and say, hey, I'm doing this photo shoot, can I borrow some outfits? And like, if I work with them and I know they'll send me great quality photos, that I'll let them borrow the outfits, so that way, I'll have some return and consistent advertising. And all of a sudden I see this beautiful bodysuit that I've made that's red and gigantic red wings, and I was like, whoa, we have to let people see this. So I
Oh,
reached out to this girl and I go, do you want to do this? And she said yes. And she's such a shy, sweet, brilliant person. And I was like, please come with me on their stage. And she refused. And, I wish she did. But that's why I'm talking about her, because she deserves that attention. And
well,
I am a gown designer. So I do a lot of wedding and evening wear and costume wear type stuff.
and what is her name again? I'm sorry.
Kendra Jade.
Is that KendraJade?
Oh boy, let me
While you do that, I think I
Can you
might be
activate
just
screen sharing too for me?
yes, that's exactly Eddie. See, we think alike. I was just remembering. Hold on a second. I think we can do this. So
I am so bad. I'm like, I have all these devices that I don't deserve.
Oh wait.
You
Hello.
activate it for me.
Oh, wait a second. Uh-oh. So yeah, that's my background, everyone.
Look at those cuties.
Oh gosh. Hold on.
Yes.
Stop sharing. Oh my gosh. That's embarrassing. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Look at me as I'm talking about Zoom screen savvy. So share, box, document, camera, share
The
white.
people are watching us. I don't know
Yes.
if they. Oh my God, you can't see this. Oh no, hang on.
If it's on is it on your Instagram?
Yes. So her name is spelled KYNDRAJADE. It's for the peoples that are watching us. You better look her up on Instagram because she is amazing.
We'll make sure to do it. Eddie and I love creating little promos. So
she is also, I don't know if you pay attention to this kind of thing. She is also like, it's gowns and like ethereal things and wings. And so she has designed outfits for COVID fashion. Mm-hmm. If you know what I mean, it's a cell phone game where you dress ladies and you see variety of hair and like variety of choices that you can pick, which are really cool. And so she's been doing these outfits for this computer game, cell phone game. Oh yes. So this is Miss Missouri.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was graciously agreed to offer me. Her name is Kristen Simone, and isn't she amazing? The top is actually a piece that we made for her a while ago, and I really wanted to show it on a runway because it was just so beautiful. And the skirt we've had from another look that just somehow like just made it ring together. It's beautiful.
It's real elegant.
It's very elegant.
Really, she did a great job.
Other one I have is...
Eddie, are you allowed to go to your Instagram and pull those? Because I can. I can access them now.
Yeah, I can just try like that. Just log in and share my.
Yeah,
that's my only other one.
I want to get I want to show the one with the wings because we actually have it. So I definitely want to show it.
Okay, let me see if I can log in real quick.
Okay. So while Eddie's doing that, Nataliya, I wanted to talk to you about the preparation for how long it takes to get ready for an event like Runway Review KC. I know originally it was scheduled for December of 2020. After speaking with Christian Michael, he was saying, you guys have had to reschedule this. So what did you have to change? Oh, I know. No, I babble. So no, I was saying what design choices did you have to make going from a fall look to, I guess, what would now be a spring look, or did you use the same designs?
So I am very emotional when it comes to fashion. So it's not winter. Well, and you saw it's costume, borderline evening costume. So that's not necessarily winter, spring, summer. You get just inspirational, with that type of stuff. So my designs, they're not necessary. I have wearable collections, but I just don't prefer to show them. I feel like people have cool experience when they see something. Oh yeah, I could wear that, and it's cute. Versus wow, and then they remember it, and I'm addicted to that memory, like to being remembered, so like once you do it once, I always like need a bigger gown and longer gown and sparklier gown and more naked gown, and just like the more, when the less is more, it's not in here, it's when the more is more. So,
no, I agree. Fashion, what I'm learning quickly is, it's kind of like what you said with Kendra. She's quiet, she's brilliant, but yet she creates these big wings. It's kind of like the best way I can describe. Ooh, I'm frozen. Oh, there we go. The best way I can describe art sometimes is it's like having a headache. Like, it's so hard for me to describe what it feels like until I tell you about it or get it out. So,
and you can't. Art is it will take over. It's almost like a parasite. If you have a talent, it will take over everything in your life, and it will take over your family, and your family better stand with it, or you'll get new family.
Oh, right. No, I get what you're saying. I think it's hard.
Dangerous game. But I have been so lucky that my family has been very supportive.
Yes. Can you see the screen Eddie's sharing?
Yes, this is Seraphine. She is actually another model and a podcaster, a fellow podcaster as well. And she's wearing the gold wings, and I love them on her.
Oops, my bad. I got so many things open now. I don't even. Let's go through them though. So we have that one. We got a nice picture of the lovely couple.
That's my husband. We have been together for 10 years this year. It's Memorial Day. I can't believe this. He still deals with me. So that's nice.
I was reading some things, and he's a fellow photographer.
I'm sorry?
Or is he a photographer?
He's not a photographer, but he's in charge of everything, even when he's not in charge of everything. So he will feel like he's a producer, or he will feel like he's a photographer, or he's a designer. It's just his personality, because he doesn't like things not organized. So you'll feel like, but I think way back before we met, he has been a photographer for a minute, but that is not like, even if now I'll say, hey, can you take a camera and take some photos? Like, he will do it if I beg, but I have so many people who love to do it, and models and stuff. They'll come together, they'll spend time. And so most of the time,
did you dress? Now this is you guys Saturday night, right?
Yes, that is.
So what's crazy is I saw you come out on the rugway. Look at me.
That's right.
On the runway, and you just had on just what I saw is like a black dress, like what's under the jacket.
Yes.
What's crazy to me is how different this look is with that jacket. Like,
that is different.
That is so crazy. That whole look is completely transformed with that jacket. Okay, that's really cool. I really like that jacket, by the way. I like the is that a watch on the sleeve?
No, it's like a little belt. It's a vintage St. John. And I used to work for St. John like years, maybe 7 years ago, for like 2 months. But I just love the brand. And ever since I've worked there for a little bit, I'm a tailor, and I worked there as a salesperson for a minute. And it was just, I love the clothes. I just love the clothes, the quality, the design. It was just so nice. Like, expensive clothes is always cool. And just being there. And so ever since I've worked, and then I got pulled by Brooks Brothers to be a tailor, which was great because I loved sewing, and that's what I'm, educated in. And not 7, maybe 8 or 9 years. Anyway, somewhere back then, because 7 years I've been at the store. But I got pulled by another company, and that's why I ended up working such little time. But I have always had that love for them. And so if I see like a nice vintage piece or something new that's absolutely fun, my
goodness, Eddie.
Actually,
I love this photo.
She's actually a ballerina. Very well-known ballerina.
Trying to turn it down. It was kind of crunk in there.
was so fun. And is it an adjustment as for the models to, normally be walking in the slim, kind of whatever you put them in, then to add those wings, is that like a big adjustment for them in their stride, or not a
So
big deal?
I feel like, so ballerina, I'm sure she's used to tutus and having partners, and they're so balanced, and I mean they're
Hmm.
gracious just from standing, like being in their presence.
Hmm.
And the rest of the girls, it just happened that all of them were somehow related to fitness. I wasn't particularly picking it that way. It just
Just
happened.
happen.
And um, because I normally have variety of people, um,
Hmm.
and so I just don't think that there's any issue when your thing has to do with your life has to do with coordination. So like
Gotcha.
I was
Okay.
the least coordinated person there, and I was like, I'm just wearing high heels. Don't dive into the people.
Oh, it was so cool to watch you come out at the end and hug each one of your models. I could
Oh, I
tell
know
you
that's
were starting
fun.
to get a look. I don't know you well yet, but just from those first interactions, I could tell you were a little emotional, and I could just feel like the energy and the positivity as you were hugging them. I could really feel like you were like, "Thank you, I appreciate it," and that was really just amazing to just from at that point a stranger point of view, being able to receive all of the energy and to watch your collection come together. Oh, there you are. That's one of my favorite
That
pictures of
is
you.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So that's you without the jacket. That's where I saw. So as
yeah.
what we're looking at right now, that first ensemble with the wings. So normally that doesn't have wings, and you would be able to wear that as like an evening gown to like where would you be a good idea to wear that?
So this, in my mind, this was a wedding dress. And I
That's what
mean,
I
in
thought. Okay.
today's day, it could be anything because you could, there is
Yeah.
a lot of evening wear inspiration because it's so rhinestones. The top, we actually made the model, Christine actually owns it. We made it for her because she's competed in different beauty competitions, beauty
Okay.
dash fitness competitions, and so that was part. She had like a portion of her contest that was Americana inspired, and
Hmm.
so we just made her a top that could have been like paired up with like little starry, you know, blue shirts with shorts with stars or some kind of like elaborate detail that's kind of fun like that, and like maybe a little hat or a little skirt or something that's Americana inspired. It had like tassels on the shoulders, and
Hmm.
what I really loved is this piece, if you lose the skirt you can really place it with like another black skirt, and that's an evening gown. You place it with a white skirt, that's a wedding dress. You place it with little shorts, it's a costume.
If I may
So
interject, the top to me, it looks like it's very Rihanna esque. That's what I'm getting from
oh
it. It looks like,
yeah,
yeah, I could.
yeah,
It's really nice.
I
It's
love
so
that, and
pretty.
the fact that you say this makes me feel even better.
Eddie,
Good.
do we have a full picture? Did I send you a full picture of that one? That was literally one of the first things because this is
The one
Natalia.
closest to
This
us.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
the one
one
in
sec.
white. This was the first fashion show I've ever been to. I've never
Uh-huh.
been on a red carpet. I've never
What?
like done any of that.
That's a good
And
pick.
so to be a part of that crowd, I had no idea what to expect. And so when all the models came out and all the different designers, it is just truly captivating. One of the reasons I wanted to do this follow up was I wanted to see how, you were able to connect with Christian and be a part of this. I've done some research, and I know you've done some things with Kansas City Fashion Week, and
Yes, I
there's a
have.
couple of letters that I'm familiarizing myself with, CADA and
KCFW.
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 So I was wondering, how it comes about that you're able to connect with Christian and do KCFW to run review KC to the event in May, and then how is it just like a tight knit community? How would someone who was new, who wants to show their fashion, be a part of everything?
So there is the easy. This is how I started,
Uh
but
huh.
I feel like it's much easier transition now just because there's so much of it. And I feel
Hmm.
like you guys are not in Kansas City because I remember this conversation, correct?
I'm from Kansas City. I currently reside. I'm just out of town now, and Eddie
Oh,
lives
I
in
see
Kansas
what
City
you're
as well.
saying. I see.
Yep.
So like in another city, I can't attest to that because it's different. But I feel
Mhm.
like Kansas City has a unique um, layer of people. We have created, so it's not like you have to work your whole life to afford your house in New York or
Oh yeah.
California, because the prices of living are so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So here people have a small extra, after their job is done at the end of the day, they have, not a, you know and not $1 million home, but like, $200,000 home, so
Mhm.
they have a little bit extra to invest into their hobbies, which are photography or fashion or knitting or, cactus planting, whatever it is that they want to do. It's not just unique to Kansas City fashion scene. I feel like movie scene is like this and music scene is like this. And because we have that little bit of extra time, we can
Mhm.
invest into it and not expect to be paid right away. So there's an opportunity to introduce yourself to the environment, and it's kind of a like exchange. There are people who are being paid, but most of the time, um, having just shown things,
Mhm.
uh, like I'm not looking to get paid, but what I'm looking for is to get exposure. And that's what I'm earning is that the love, right? I'm earning the people. Anyway, so what happened was I took a photo, in the backyard of one corset that I made. It was like a
Mhm.
Barbie style corset. And someone written me a letter and said, "Hey, I can take a photo of you." And
Mhm.
I was like, that's weird. How about, or like take a photo of your clothes, right? And I
Yes.
was like, but it was like 10 years ago, and, or 20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago, maybe. And I was like, that's weird because I wasn't in that environment. It wasn't normal for
Oh
me with
yeah, yeah. I
somebody
get what
who,
you're
yeah.
saying.
And so I was like, how about you come to my place, but take a, I found out a little bit about this person. I didn't live alone. My family lived with me. And I was like, ask my sister to come along. And I said, how about you take photos on the mannequin? And if the person is like, oh no, I'm not interested, I was like, well, that's okay. You want to take photos on, of clothing. So that's kind of like, that's a photographer who posted my stuff. His name is Gene Starks, my dear friend for life. We've been friends for a very long time. And so like people just found out little by little, and new photographers and new
Mhm.
people, new models reached out and said, oh, I like this piece of yours, or can we work together, bring something? And you just show up to a photo shoot with some wardrobe, and they'll show up, and it's kind of like a mutual, like kind of a celebration of confidence at the same time. So, and it's like a free exchange, and sometimes like you'll end up paying if there's a purpose. Like you'll say, I need this by then, I need it like this, and then you hire a person. But when you come together and just make art, you kind of all own it. Um, and Christian and I met forever ago. I don't know, 15 years. I don't even know. I feel like I've known him forever. And he used to do these other fashion shows,
Uh
and
huh.
he was working on his brand, which was really cool. I've always loved, like, he's like military inspiration. I always see like these big bands or performers like wearing a jacket like this, which is really cool. And he's also has a like a whole bunch of history inspired stuff, which is really fun. So we've met forever ago. And he reaches out to me because I know he knows I'm in, and we have a couple, a little bit of a following in
Mhm.
lots of people that he reaches out to do. But to step into to start a new, what you have to have is like clothing that you've made. So you'll say, how do I start? And you start making clothes and you start taking pictures of it and you put it on the internet. If you don't know how to sew just yet, you draw. There should be, like, there's a lot of people who will reach out to me and they have a talent, but they don't know how to deliver that talent to the world. And what I like to do is, it doesn't matter if you draw by hand or
Mhm.
on the computer, or you pin things on the dress form, or pin things on your friends, or it just, something has to start, or style vintage things. Go to a thrift shop and style vintage things. sell, $3 shorts from thrift shop. It doesn't matter what, but it has to start somewhere to gain the following. Nowadays, it's so important to create who you are visually on the internet, because that's how we live, especially after pandemic. And so,
Uh,
go ahead.
no, I was saying, you've done a great job of having a really respectable virtual footprint. Your store, the website
Thank
is
you.
is so alluring. I think it's a good word.
Oh,
It's really dramatic and fun. I found myself on there a little longer than I should have today.
oh,
Um,
thank you so much. So, a friend of
just
ours, a gentleman, another photographer I happen to be working with, I reached out and he says, I work for this company. And I reached out and hired them because I knew he was great. His name is Xander Cha. And Xander has made our website. My husband and him has talked and talked and talked and talked. And they've created this beautiful beauty. I'm very excited to have it. And it's very new. It's maybe
oh,
like 2 weeks old. So
oh,
we got
it's
you got to witness the birth.
well, it was very nice, and like you said, that digital footprint is so important because within, I have this thing, and I'm running a little fast right now because I'm trying to do this and trying to do that, but as I slow down, I think my research will be different. But right now, the information age, it only takes 5 to 10 minutes before you really have a person's background on the last 20 years of what they've done. And it's so hard to still connect, like when you see someone out in person who you haven't seen in a while, but yet they went to the lake, and their kid just celebrated a birthday. Whereas before, your conversation is, how are you? How is your kid? Now it's like, hey, I saw you at the lake. That party looked awesome. you
Yeah.
know? So it's just kind of navigating through this digital world, and like you said, making sure you have a good footprint that represents you and your brand. And I think you've done a phenomenal job with that. And
And
so
also people, I wanted to add, I feel like people need to, like, the worst thing you could do is be shy. So, like, that just doesn't work for any job. And having, being shy, oh, what if people won't like my work? Or what if they say this is stupid?
are
This
you
is,
reading something off the comments? Is there comments in there? Is there comments?
Oh no, I'm not reading anything.
Oh, okay. Oh, ooh, okay. I thought there were like maybe comments in the little chat room. I'm sorry. I'm still new to
oh,
all
that'd
this.
be cool. I
I
haven't
know.
even, sorry, I had a dress on my lap. Um,
Oh no.
so, for people who are starting out, it's important to reach out. It's important to put their work out there, and talk to everyone you encounter. Talk about your talent. It is extremely important to, like, my husband is a used to be a salesperson for a huge company, like high-end sales.
Mhm.
Um, and he, even though I love what I do and I'm super proud of what I do, but people like will ask me, "What do you do?" And I go, "I sew." And he goes, "She's a fashion designer. You have to say you're a fashion designer. You have to it because it's your business. You're trying to
Mhm.
earn money as well as feed your family as well as promote. And you know, the minute you close your mouth and not talk, someone else will. Someone else will say they're a fashion designer. Someone else will take. It's not that they're taking your place, but you just have to speak up for you. Otherwise, no one will know you exist. And that has to consistently happen. And so, like, talking to people, introducing yourself, showing the work. And also, there's a lot of groups in the area, like on the internet, on Facebook, model groups, Kansas City models, Kansas City photographers, Kansas City creatives, and just in belonging to these groups are great too. Um, Small and big shows. I had a period of my life that I joined every single show I was invited to do.
Mhm.
Um, just to just pepper with myself just everywhere I could. And I can't afford to do this now because I'm too overwhelmed at work. So I have enough work to not have to leave the store, but I do some of the things. Like, Christian has been a friend, a dear friend for a long time, and he's so talented, and I so believe in his brand and just what he's bringing to people, and just like I think it's magical, to have that in. We've had a great time with the models talking and connecting to each other with guests. And especially with COVID, you walk
Hmm.
out there and everybody's, you could see I am married, so I'm not looking to date or anything, but like you could see wandering eyes just gliding by.
Oh
And you're
yeah.
like, oh, that's sweet. Don't you love it, grandma? You know?
No, it's definitely good to see what spring can, what the magic of spring, as I call it, when everyone gets to
And
get
we
out
are,
and put on
that is
something
like
new.
multiplied, right? That's like spring on like, Gatorade because people have been cooped up and we're just getting reopened.
Hmm.
They have been cooped up, and I'm really glad to see that they showed up. The fashion community is so welcome. I would say since I've been being fortunate enough to be introduced to some of the designers, everyone is just saying yes. They pick up the phone, they're replying to my emails and my calls, and it's just like you basically said, just reaching out and being in Kansas City. We're
And
fortunate enough
what's the
that
worst that could happen, right? People won't respond or they'll say no. And if you
they,
do hear a no, you ask why. And sometimes they'll give you a clear answer that you can use to your advantage and learn and get better.
oh, I wholeheartedly agree. I wanted to talk to you about, like, as far as a fashion designer, what would you say your like ultimate success is? Is it something like a New York Fashion Week? Is it
I
like a
am nowhere
Oscar?
near. Well,
What's your like?
helicopter.
Oh my gosh, I
This
made
is
it.
what I mean. I Helicopters wealthy. That's what I call it. Like I've imagined this concept. I'm
Uh-huh.
nowhere near there, but like where helicopters are a normal thing in your life. Like
Oh.
I actually get really sick on the plane, so I
Mhm.
probably wouldn't want to fly on a helicopter. But like,
I get the ideology
In
behind it.
theory, it works.
Yes. Oh,
you
I
see what I
get.
mean? Like where it's like so normal. In like when like you're a citizen of this country or this country, well, I feel like a citizen of the world. I'm
Mhm.
foreign, so I'm from Ukraine originally,
Oh,
but
cool.
I feel like I'm a citizen of the world and I want to pepper myself everywhere. I'd love to make collections of pret-a-porter, which is wearable clothing for every day. I would love to make collections in large quantities. um, I would love to solve an issue where people are, working for really little money in Asia or, India for, $2 or $3 a day and
Mhm.
bring, you know, like where you're equalizing the price of the item. We're so used to very inexpensive, low quality item that we're purchasing for a really low dollar. In our closet is full of that.
Yeah.
But people still spend money on other things which are not, but like I just don't know. There's not a right or wrong answer, but we're just as humanity, we're trying to learn, right? And
Mhm.
I want to learn it, so I would like to be part of the solution where you repurpose or you invest into something. You don't buy a jacket every year, or I have a jacket that I've had for 7 years that I love, and I every time I reach out for another black jacket to purchase something like this, and I'm like, would I wear this inexpensive item when I have my super nice jacket already, and I won't choose to wear the lower dollar one? Like I'll wear it for one time because it's new, and then I will, like, why would I wear this cheap jacket? And
Mhm.
so, like, a lot of times, the fashion trashed the world a lot. It's like a third, like,
Yeah,
dirty.
I didn't really realize, I guess, until just at this last event, all of the waste that goes into making clothes and all this stuff, and then just fashion in general. You're right, because I will literally sometimes like buy something for to wear literally in the next like 2 hours. I'm gonna wear it maybe six and not ever wear it again for the rest of my life.
I am guilty of that too. And with COVID, my husband and I, we kind of slowed down our spending just because we weren't going anywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
I slowed down on my runways. So I wasn't spending. So I was able to break the habit,
Yeah.
so
Yay.
you're not shaking. I want to go and buy some,
Mm-hmm.
or I feel insufficient. So this item will make me feel better,
Mm-hmm.
I need X or something. And sometimes it is fine. Retail therapy is fine as long as people have budget to shop for, that they're not drowning, and
Mm-hmm.
their closet isn't drowning. And like, maybe putting away some things, or in what I've learned myself just with my personal closet, um, not necessarily um, getting rid of things or putting them away, but trying, like, spending a day trying on things that are not necessarily I've never worn together, in picking out new looks. And then you'll be connecting, like, when you purchase this item and you wore it for a long time, you're like, oh, I remember the feeling I got when I wore this, and that feels really cool. And so you re-engage with that feeling, and so you get that feeling without buying a new, but also utilizing. But I love buying new. Don't think that I don't. the,
No,
the,
we get
the
what you're saying. We get
market
we
is
get the concept.
Trying to
so
balance out. You got to
saturated.
balance out any way that you
Exactly.
can.
It just has to be worth it, when buying something. I don't know. Nowadays, like, I've been saying, my husband's like, hey, how about you just save what you're not buying? And now I'm like, oh, well, I can buy this expensive item. But then I'm like, well, I can save this and get something for my kid that's
Mm-hmm.
actually worth something. So you're like trying to balance out your life. And there's not a right or wrong, but we're just trying to learn every day.
Yeah.
And same thing with fashion. So growing as a designer, yeah, I would love to do like interior things and, you know, crazy homes. But I just, I've, I would look around sometimes on, like, jobs. I'm subscribed to a whole bunch of different things. In most of the jobs that I would love to have are maybe like in France or Italy or New York. And I'm so used to living in Kansas City. I am so here person. And I
Uh-huh.
feel like my portfolio also shows that.
I
So
have.
I am the only one here like me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I feel like, also gave me a little power. In also Kansas City is kind of like about love, and we're all about embracing each other, like all these designers. Even though in reality, if you were like place us in a department store, they're competitors, but
Mm-hmm.
we get along so well, and we are friends, and we are allies, and that is awesome. So, like, because we're not like trying to claw each other's eyes out, like, I feel like in Los Angeles or New York, the fashion industry is a bit more ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that environment. I know sometimes, like, we'll have fashion shows and people say, "Well, I'm not fancy, so I won't go." And we're like, "No, you have to come. It doesn't matter what you wear. Even if we say cocktail attire, it's a fashion show. You can wear a potato sack and be appreciated for it. I mean, it is artistic, 100% approach to
Mm-hmm.
where, whether you wear your black clothing and you're goth, or you're a nudist, or whatever you are, in it, it's appreciated because it's an artistic vision, and that's needed. Everybody's needed. We want to hear a story of a koi
Oh,
person.
everybody's needed.
Exactly. We need them all at the fashion show. We want them all to experience something that we try to tell. It's a story we're all trying to tell.
I agree. One of the things I enjoyed the most Saturday was looking at all of the different fashions. I would just see one outfit where the outfit was just completely made because of the shoes. I'd see another outfit that it was just completely made because of the jeans. Did you see the girl there who had like the completely like slit open front jeans, like from the knee to the
I know
ankle?
exactly what you're talking about.
We got
Yeah.
to pull up our
So,
outfit.
Yeah,
oh
yeah, we did
yeah.
good too, Eddie. We
Woo!
did good too. But man, I
How
was
was
just like, oh, this is
it?
so good. Yeah, Eddie and I, we Yeah, Eddie, pull our pictures up too. We did. Do we have any
So
from when we
cool.
were? But no, it was
Where
it
did
was
I have
cool.
that?
I don't know.
It
When
was
I was
I don't know.
talking
It was on your phone or something, I think.
when I was talking to Christian last week, he was saying that as he's starting to make his pieces, he's starting to make them more tailored. So like
Hmm.
he's putting in like he wants to do like a numeral series, so where you can, they're more personalized. So I think
Hmm.
one of the things you were saying that I was super connecting to was about how hold
I know.
Uh oh. She'll be back, I'm sure. Well, that's okay though, because I had a question for you, anyways.
Yes.
And I just wanted to know, like, you kind of answered it though, just talking about, not being from Kansas City. But to me, it seems like, being in Kansas City, I'm born and raised here, and it's a Midwest market, small market, right? And when it comes to technology, fashion, basically anything, we're kind of late. Like whenever I go to any of the coast or any of the major cities, I always pick up something that I can like bring back. I'm like, yo, we gonna get this in a year or two, maybe 6 months, but I know that I can find something that's ahead of the curve and kind of bring it to Kansas City. I feel like as a fashion designer, you kind of maybe create it yourself, but I just want to know how do you do that? Like how do you create something new or your own style or whatever? How do you keep progressing fashion forward, I guess is what I'm trying to say, when in a smaller market.
So this is a very cool question because I was actually researching this thing just recently. I was listening to a whole lot of podcasts from here. I speak Russian, so I listened to Russian podcasts. And they were saying the concept of high-end fashion, the couture fashion that I make, versus a concept of wearable sports fashion is now irrelevant because the sports fashion is what makes the money, like the new um, Balmain stories
Mm-hmm.
and the new, whatever Gucci has done with the new stuff because they have, receded and then went up. In some of the big fashion houses that went up and down. And now, instead of having, what couture considerably what was couture, the gowns and stuff, that's not as desired. So you really have to, it's a luck of the draw as well as a lot of research. So one person cannot, you can be one person, but you have to have a lot of allies. You have to have other people that are interested, friends,
Mm-hmm.
people who are willing to invest in you. You have to have somebody backing you and have to have employees that are, it's a whole web of things. And it's very hard because sometimes your artistic vision is very strong and beautiful as visual, but not cost effective. And
Yeah.
yes, I agree.
sometimes it's reversed. It's every day, a hoodie, plain black hoodie. I probably, I can't imagine. I'm sure it would sell better than one gown for $1,000,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but will you sell 10 of them to make this? But then the feeling I get from making that unique gown is the feeling I'm looking for. And I feel like that's with all the artists. So it's to be desired for something you want to do. So people will come and say, hey, can you make me X, Y, and Z? And I'll pay you for it. That's how you earn money. But at the same time, is this your artistic vision? You have to make a choice. If it's your money or it is your artistic vision, or there's no answer. It's everybody has to make their own choices and live by them. If you want to earn money and look for, plan savings and later on make something, or break your time on, um, on Mondays I design what I want, on Tuesdays I do sportswear, and all the rest of the week I make clients orders or something. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody has to make kind of sacrifices to get to, because nobody has unlimited funds to just sit there and create.
That's cool.
No, they do not. No, that's kind of part of
Well,
the.
not nobody, but you know.
No, I get it. Part of some of the issues I've ran in with a good work life balance is I love creating and I need to follow up with what I've created. I'll look over and I have these what I consider 8 to 10 amazing projects that I created, and they're all at 85 to 90% because I just want to create and
Oh
create
Yeah.
and
no,
create
you
and
have
create.
to. That is another thing I have. I don't know if you can see this.
I feel
I'll
like
show
that's
you.
the artist, the way of the artist, like just
There's a top
creating.
rack right over
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
that I haven't got to in
Yeah.
7 years since I've been here.
Oh,
So
oh.
my husband's like, you put it away in the plastic and donate that fabric that you cut out to be a man's shirt or something like that. And I have been going through and getting rid of it. Now I do not start an item just because it's cool. It's just I've purchased too many fabrics. I'm like, oh, it's a good sale, a beautiful fabric. I know what I'm going to make of this plaid chiffon, and then I'm like, why did I buy this? There's so many beautiful fabrics that I have, and they're expensive and nice, and you don't need this cheapie for $1 a yard. But I'm like, oh, let's get 10 because it's so inexpensive. And now I have piles of stuff. I'm actually considering selling them with my manager so she can put them up on the internet because it's crazy how much stuff you end up accumulating. So having definitely decided if out of 10 ideas you have, which one is worth investing in.
That's awesome.
For sure. So this is tough. When having, your own.
There's us.
Oh, cute. Where's that?
That's at the fashion show on this past Saturday.
You guys look good. Is that gray or white shirt? I can't tell.
It's like bluish, light blue and dark blue.
Oh, I like that. And floral print. Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
It was a good old time. I think Giovanna dropped out again.
Yeah, I think I see that. How long are these broadcasts are normally?
I feel like we got a lot of it.
Hi.
I can be talking for a very long time. I'm not sure you'll have enough.
Well, you got knowledge, and it's JoJo getting to know podcast, and we trying to get to know and get some knowledge and learn. So it's all good.
Anytime. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sorry my connection dropped, but
No, you're wonderful.
We've got a lot. Thank you so much. I mean, you jumped in there and did that for me. I'm running this whole montage of the follow-up, so I look forward. Myself, I'll be at the event May 8th. Eddie's welcome. I'm hoping Eddie will be able to join.
I'm coming. I told all my friends too.
Oh yeah, so
So exciting.
In person, and I'd love to follow up with you just between now and then, in case there's a couple of questions when I go over my notes.
Yeah, reach out, please, just like you did today. And the Instagram is good. In my daytime time is tough, but evening is good. Sometimes evening is good.
Thank you so much, Nataliya, and I look forward to following you on your journey, and I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you
so much
for reaching out, you guys. It was wonderful to meet you and chat with you.
Yep. You have a good one.
Have a good evening or day or night, whatever time people are watching us. And hey, everyone, thank you for watching us. There we go.
Yes, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Eddie, I'll talk to you in a little bit. I'll text you.
All right, bet.
Take care, you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.